All
Yep.
right, going on to our third topic, third and final topic. We got the MVP race. So I'm going to go ahead and
Exciting.
give us, give y'all our three top candidates in order. I guarantee you, I know the order that you're going to say as well.
Yep.
Russell Wilson, MVP. Lamar Jackson, number two. Chris McCaffrey, number three. Am I correct? Or do you have the two and three flipped?
I have 2 and 3 flipped.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead with your MVP candidates and why and all that mumbo
Well,
jumbo.
how about we work from 3 to 1? I'm going to start with Lamar
All right. Yeah,
Jackson.
yeah, that's fine.
Everyone on the planet thinks he deserves the MVP, and I was skeptical to put him in the race a few weeks ago, but the way he's been playing, I know, some of the teams they're playing aren't top notch, but good quarterbacks dominate good defenses, and he's been doing well. His numbers speak for themselves. He's certainly, honestly, he's the most improved player of the year. He's going to get that
Oh, yeah.
award all day. Good for him. He'll get an ESPYS award as a sophomore in the NFL because he is the most improved player in football. No one comes even close. Um, his passing numbers are increased. He doesn't have that many yards at all, like at all. However, he has of the top, I believe, five now after that 5 touchdown game against the Rams in passing touchdowns. And then the running. Do I have to even talk about it? I mean, he's going to shatter Michael Vick's uh, quarterback rushing record. He is unreal when he breaks free. So he's got great talent. Okay, but it's called Most Valuable Player Award. The Ravens are such a good team, especially offensively. Their
Yep.
offensive line would be just as good without him. Their run game would be just as good. They could start RG3, and I think they'd have about the same record and the same productivity. Don't I mean
Yeah.
he's they I believe that because the passing game isn't that great. It's not, that's not what they work on. I mean, if they need to get like 5 yards, sure. Let Hollywood Brown run a slant route and just use his speed. He'll get 5 yards of separation, and there's a play right there.
Mark
That's all
Andrews.
they do. That is all they do, and people over exaggerate it. I'm not saying Lamar Jackson's not bad. He could be an offensive player of the year type of guy, most improved, but most valuable, no, most valuable player on that team is fucking like Marshall Yonda, Orlando Brown, anyone on that offensive line. Those guys are the MVPs of that offense because they allow that. The Ravens can run every down, every single play. Maybe you get a third and long or something like 3rd and 10. Maybe they can pass, but literally the Ravens can run the ball behind that dominant offensive line every
I
single
get where
play.
you're coming from, but it's most valuable player. I mean, granted, the offensive line's important.
I'm
It's
saying, no,
really,
I'm
really
saying
important, but
that's what I said. You could give it to a Yonda. Like, I mean, these guys
uh,
are kicking ass. Ravens will probably have anywhere from 3 to 4 All Pros by the end of the season. I guarantee you that. So, for that reason alone, he's number 3. Excuse the hell out of me.
okay. I've got Lamar Jackson number two, but I like what you said. The rushing speaks for itself. He's got 876 yards, 6 touchdowns, and average 7 yards a fucking carry. The rushing is unbelievable. He just surpassed Michael Vick in the
Not for it.
fastest quarterback in all of Madden. He's going to break Michael Vick's records.
99.
He already broke Cam Newton's rookie records. Besides
Yep.
touchdowns, he's not close to that, but it's okay. He is probably already in his second year one of the best mobile quarterbacks, rushing quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah, I
What
agree.
gets me is the passing. He's still got a good touchdown interception ratio, 24 touchdowns, 5 picks. Still got a 111 QBR. But he, like you said, most valuable player. He's flashy, but the team is already good. When we say Russell Wilson is MVP, Russell Wilson is the only good thing that comes out of that fucking offense, basically.
Yep.
That is
You're
the
damn
only
right.
reason they've got the record they have. That is the only
Yep.
reason they've won, had multiple winning seasons in a row.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson, if you took him out, put RG3 in or Teddy Bridgewater in, they'd still be fine. They've got Mark Ingram, who's a damn good running back behind that great offensive line. If
Yep.
they need to get a couple yards, they got Mark Andrews, top 3 tight end in the league this year, and you got Hollywood Brown and multiple other fucking receivers
Willie
that
Snead.
that
Yeah.
get the fucking job done, especially in this power run vertical scheme that they fucking do. That they got all these fast fucking players, bomb it, they'll be open, get some fucking play action going, and they'll be fine. So most valuable player, I'm not going to go with Lamar Jackson this year. I bet he'll get it just because of the hype that he's getting and the flashiness of these runs. But I don't think he deserves it. He's a candidate, but the most valuable player, no. The team is already very, very good. So moving on to my number 2, my number 3, your number 2 is Christian McCaffrey.
That is correct. Christian McCaffrey leads the league in rushing yards. He leads the league in scrimmage yards. He leads, after this last week, I still believe he leads the league in total touchdowns.
Yes.
His quarterback, Kyle Allen. Not terrible for a second-year backup, but his quarterback, Kyle Allen. His offensive line, well, they got Trey Turner and Hunter, help me out.
A bunch of undrafted or 6th-round picks.
Yes, there you go. So leads the league in rushing with one known offensive lineman around the league, to my best of my knowledge.
2, Matt Paradis is pretty good. But go ahead.
They have a few good receivers, so they hardly ever throw the ball. I'm sorry, I was really high on Kyle Allen like weeks ago, like everyone else was. He was looking good. He kind of fell off pretty hard. Well, you did. You did. And he fell off pretty hard. He's a turnover machine all of a sudden. So he is the entire offense for the Panthers.
Yes.
He is about as close to comparison of a Russell Wilson that you're going to get. He does it all. And I'm sorry, Hunter, if McCaffrey did not play for the Panthers, they might have 1 or 2 wins on the season.
I wouldn't even say that.
It is what it is. And their defense is underperforming. Once again, I couldn't explain it, but they're underperforming, so they have to put a lot of points. And he does a consistent job. You need a first down. He is a power back too. It's incredible. The guy is short. He's not small. He is short. That's it. He's a hoss. The guy's ripped. He has like 0.0001% body fat. That's impossible. But if anyone was going to get close to it, it's Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
He's a ball of muscle that can catch. He's quick. Fucking jumps over people for crying out loud. His athletic ability allows him to keep the Panthers competitive in games offensively, just as Russell Wilson does for his team. Honestly, the only reason he's probably not number 1 on the MVP list is because he can't throw the football.
The quarterback.
He can throw the football. Yeah, it's the position he plays. He's honestly a legend right now. Like, he is in comparison with, what is it, LT and Adrian Peterson. Those were the last 2 running backs to win MVP. Talking about high honors. We're talking about Hall of Famers, first ballot Hall of Famers. AP's still going. He'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, one of the best of all time.
I mean, it's incredible. He's just having a way outstanding season for what he's working with. And we just talked about Lamar Jackson. The guy has all the tools in the world around him to be successful. McCaffrey's almost the opposite in that he has to do it himself, and he does it. So he is my number 2, like you just mentioned, because he's not a quarterback. It's just a position. He's the best running back in football by far. Dalvin Cook isn't actually even close at this point because he cannot receive the ball like McCaffrey. He is far and away the best running back in football, and he's a running back. He's my number 2. So
McCaffrey's already eclipsed 1,100 rushing yards. He is at nearly 600 receiving yards. So total yards
insane.
around 1,700. Total
Insane.
Touchdowns around 16 touchdowns.
Incredible.
McCaffrey, if he was to go down, the Panthers would not win a game. And they will, ever since week 1, if McCaffrey was down, they would be probably 0-16 at this point. McCaffrey is the fucking team. Period. The end. Kyle Allen, all he has to do is check the ball down, which he does 90% of the time, and that is why McCaffrey handles 55% or it's 45 or 55% of the Carolina Panthers' whole entire offensive workload.
We'll call it 50.
Which is
It's
fucking
incredible.
ridiculous. That's counting Kyle Allen. That's counting the receivers. That's counting the tight ends. Every fucking body on that offense. He gets around 50% of the fucking touches, which is ridiculous. So it's a toss-up between him and Lamar Jackson for my 2. However, I think it's a quarterback award, so that's why I put Lamar Jackson in front of him. But if you're talking about most valuable player to their team, yes, it's Christian McCaffrey. So you were talking about the offensive line. The offensive line is full of makeshift guys. Trey Turner, an All-Pro. Matt Paradis, an All-Pro, who was, I think, a 6th-round pick at one point. And everybody else is undrafted or 6th-round
I don't
picks.
know. I've never heard of any of
Backups.
the rest.
Yeah.
We used to have Khalil. That's all I know.
Yeah. This running back and Christian McCaffrey averages 5 yards of fucking carry.
Incredible.
With that. He's short. He's elusive. He's a fucking power back. That's why the Panthers last year got rid of C.J. Anderson, because they were like, fuck it, he can do it all, which he can. They put him in a slot receiver position. They put him on the outside receiver position. And the thing that Norv Turner told Kyle Allen at the very fucking beginning, and especially last week, they stressed to him, the check down is always open. Yep. Speaking, if you don't know football, McCaffrey is the check down because he's the running back, and he is always fucking open, period.
Yep.
Because he is. Corners can't cover him. Linebackers can't cover him. He is the best running back in football by far in yards, scrimmage yards. I think Aaron Jones is close to him in total touchdowns, but that's because he has fucking Aaron Rodgers throwing to him.
And a good offense.
Duh.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey's fucking unreal. And I know I'm a Panthers fan, and I'm not being biased because
it's not biased. You're not being. Everything you said is everyone should agree with you. Anyone that watches this should agree with you 100%.
And we want to talk about one of the nicest guys in the NFL. Andrew Luck was a really nice guy, and everybody fucking loved him. Yeah. Christian McCaffrey is the same exact way. Eli Apple last game didn't even tackle Christian. He pushed him out of bounds and started jawing his mouth, fucking talking shit. Christian McCaffrey looked at him and tossed the ball to the ref. A couple plays later, that juke he had on the 5-yard line that shook the 11 shit out of, I don't think it was Eli Apple. I think it was Marshawn Lattimore. But still, that was just a fucking dagger in the Saints defense right there. Like, shut the fuck up.
Spiked it on his ass, too. Yeah.
So McCaffrey is my number 3 just because this is a quarterback award. But if we're talking about most valuable player on the team, Christian McCaffrey, because the Panthers would be 0-16 without him. Chris McCaffrey is a fucking contender, and he should be thought about for MVP.
Yep.
But moving on to our number 1, it is Russell motherfucking Wilson.
Russell motherfucking Wilson. It's
I don't know his middle name, but it should be motherfucking.
We'll just motherfucking Wilson. That's what we'll call it. Russell Wilson is the MVP over Christian McCaffrey because he plays quarterback, the most important position in football.
Yep.
One of the most important and toughest positions to play in all professional sports. So they tell me. I have no idea, but it's not far-fetched. You have to lead your team and against the best players in the world, and he does that on a weekly basis. Hunter, what is the Seahawks record as of right now?
Seahawks record is, let me look, 9-2.
They are 9-2. They have beaten the 49ers, which are probably the best team in the NFC, one of the best in football. He dropped a cool 30-some-odd points on that defense, which Hunter mentioned is number 1 in football. He has multiple comeback victories, fourth-quarter drives. He literally has done any and everything for the Seahawks entirely. His whole career. Clutch. His whole, and this is what I'm talking about. I should have mentioned that. I'm talking about his entire career. The guy has he gets comebacks, fourth-quarter comebacks. Ever since he's been in the league, he has the most fourth-quarter comebacks in the NFL since he's been in football. So he's naturally clutch. He can run if he needs to, but I love that he doesn't choose to run first, Lamar Jackson, because he can throw the shit out of the football. We talk about Aaron Rodgers and his ability to throw the ball and place it anywhere. It's like we've never seen before. Russell Wilson does the exact
That
same
same
thing.
fucking thing.
It is beautiful. I mean, he can roll right. You never want to throw off your back foot across your body. My God, if he can't roll right, run backwards off his back foot and throw it sideways somewhere, and it's the most beautiful throw. He does the same thing Aaron Rodgers does, but he does it with less, and he's faster, so he can scramble more if he needs to. Like it's
He's
got
an
to be
athlete.
it's got to be depressing for defensive linemen to have to go down each and every play and say, God, do I really have to rush this guy? Like, do I really have to fucking get
Yeah.
schooled all over TV right now? Because he does it every single play. Whenever
Yeah.
he gets sacked, I'm shocked. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
whoever that defensive lineman is, whoever did that's good. Because
He
it
had
is
nowhere
hard to
to
sack
go,
this man.
period. It takes more than
It,
one person to get him.
it's absolutely ridiculous how
Yeah.
great this guy is consistently. And like Hunter mentioned when we were talking about him over McCaffrey, he's working with nothing. I mean, his offensive line has gotten decent it's getting a little better each year. Ifedi is pretty good lineman. I remember back when they won the Super Bowl, they in those days they had J.R. Sweezy, guys like that. They don't have the worst O line. They got a solid running back in Chris Carson. He's got good receivers to throw to. But their defense is honestly they're worse than average. They
Yeah.
have a few guys in the backfield that can make plays, but up front, it's so disappointing. You have Ezekiel Ansah, you have Jadeveon Clowney now. You traded for him, however many weeks ago now, and they do not get pressured. They do not get sacked. They're terrible at stopping the run. So Russell Wilson, he's working against the clock, and he has to put up points literally every time they get the ball. Very rarely do they win without the fucking Seahawks putting up what, about 30 points a game. It's incredible.
Close.
It's incredible. And this year, he's having the best year of his career statistically, and I'm sure Hunter will tell you all about his stats.
Yeah. A 5'11", 215, third-round pick in 2012, and this motherfucker has led the Seattle Seahawks to every fucking season. He has led them to a winning record, I do believe, besides maybe one. It might be all of them. I'm not sure. Two-time
It's
NFC
all
champion, one Super Bowl, and he hasn't won MVP yet, which is shocking, but
that'll
this
change.
needs to be the fucking year. He is having the best year statistically at a 112 QBR, 24 touchdowns, only 3 picks, 67% completion, 3,000 passing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. And it's not even the stats what gets me. It's like you said, the fucking plays. You see Lamar Jackson making all these flashy runs. Russell Wilson makes flashy runs. When he does run, though, or when he's rolling out, he keeps his eyes down the field. He
Looks to
looks
throw.
up. He looks left as he's fucking running around from Chandler Jones twice a year, fucking Nick Bosa twice a year, DeForest Buckner twice a year, Aaron Donald twice a year. Hello, this is
Yeah.
all fucking teams in his division, and they have the best linemen in the fucking division. Period. Am I correct? I would assume so.
Those are some of the literally best defensive linemen in football, and he has
And
to
he
play
plays
them
them all
twice
twice
a
a
year.
fucking year. And
Yep.
and he puts up these numbers. And he beats the best defense in football in overtime.
Yep.
I mean, nearly by himself on offense. I mean, you have
Yep.
Tyler Lockett. You have the fucking receiver, the ripped fucker,
DK Metcalf.
DK
Yeah.
Metcalf. And that's about it on the receiving side. You have Chris Carson, who is an average running back. This year he has struggled with fumbles, and the offense in general has struggled running the football, and the defense is Jadeveon Clowney coming to the team, that kind of helps them. But overall, the team is He is the only reason they are 9-2. He is the only reason they beat the fucking 49ers.
Yep.
And he's the only reason they got a fucking playoff spot right now. The most valuable player, not even talking about quarterbacks, in the fucking league should be him over McCaffrey, over Lamar, just because the shit he fucking does,
Yep.
especially the crap that you don't want to see a quarterback do. Roll out 15 yards backwards, throw it over his fucking down, cross his body, not looking that way, no look
Yep.
pass like this, and it somehow fucking falls right into a receiver's hands. I don't know how he does it. And I mean, I remember watching him play the Panthers a lot for some fucking reason. We play them a lot, even in the playoffs, and it's so demoralizing on a 3rd and 15. And that motherfucker
I know,
makes the
my
plays
God.
he does,
Yep.
and I just want to cry
Yep.
every time he fucking does it.
Yep.
I would hate to be in the same division as fucking Russell, not even the Seahawks, as
Yep.
Russell fucking Wilson. I
It's got
complain
to be intimidating. It
I
has to be.
complain that Drew Brees is in the fucking NFC South. Dear
Yeah.
God in heaven, if fucking Russell Wilson was in the fucking NFC South, I would cry every single time I face him. I don't even care if we win.
Yep.
He's that legit. And to be a 3rd round pick and to be as short as he is,
Yep.
it's fucking unreal.
I
Russell Wilson should be the MVP by far.
Yep. And I love
Willie,
what you
probably
said.
not, but
I
he
love
should be.
what you said there. Like teams would be crying playing Russell Wilson. They see the Seahawks, maybe yeah, sure. 2013, they were afraid of the defense, right?
Oh
Everyone
yeah.
was terrified of that Legion of Boom. That didn't last all that long. You're welcome. But when we hear the Seahawks now, but the last what 4 seasons, I would say we go, might be tough for a little while.
Yeah.
But what you concern yourself with is Russell Wilson, like you said, 3rd and 15. They do. Oh my God! It's not just that 49ers play in overtime because that was an incredible play by him, but it happens every week. Watch any Seahawks game just for 5 minutes while he's on the field, and you go, damn. I mean, he does it every drive, every play. It is incredible when they don't let him get the ball, when they don't try to pass it on 3rd downs, they fail almost every time. Chris Carson is a pretty solid running back. He's a workhorse, but dude, every time it's not in his hands, there is no productivity at all. It might get you a few first downs here and there, but it's going to stall out. Russell Wilson takes over games. He's a game changer. If he continues to play, you don't have to play like this level every year. You don't expect a guy to play MVP every single year. But his career is, if he continues to play like he has in his career, this guy's going to be like a top 5 quarterback of all time.
May I mind you,
All
this
time.
man has already been sacked 33 times this fucking season. His
Yep.
offensive line is one of the worst in football. At least the
Yep.
bottom, at least fucking 20th. I mean, the offensive line sucks. The running game isn't there. He does this shit by himself. And I'm taking a quote from Gene Hackman, The Replacements. Winners want the ball when the game is on the line. If you
Yes,
do
that is
not
the
give
best
this
one.
motherfucker the
Yep.
ball,
Yep.
granted, in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, it kind of fucked him over. But
Different situation, different
he
time.
needs the fucking, when the game is on the line in overtime against the 49ers,
Yeah.
give Russell Wilson the ball. He will make plays just like he did. He's fucking unreal. I
Yep.
love him. He's a great guy, good player, fucking solid athlete, plays baseball as well. I mean, he
Yep.
is the fucking man. And you cannot get a better athlete, a better quarterback than Russell Wilson. I mean, overall, I mean, he is one of the best in the fucking league for the
Yep.
past 7 fucking years, 8 years.
Yep.
I mean, it's unreal. I love him to death.
He is my favorite quarterback. Besides, I'm biased to Tom Brady. He is my
Yeah.
favorite quarterback in football, and
Yeah,
he
I
has
mean,
been
Teddy
for several
Bridgewater,
years.
by far my favorite quarterback, but I mean, it's
Teddy
Russell
Bridgewater?
Wilson.
Oh,
No, good quarterback, but no, I was kidding. But yeah, Russell Wilson's the fucking man. Love
Russell
him to
Wilson
death.
is the man, and that's why he should win MVP. Just like earlier, if we're saying who should win MVP, it should be Russell Wilson. Will
Willie?
he?
No.
I'm going to say, unfortunately, no. There's a lot of idiots out there, or people who just they
The
look how
media.
flashy he is. his numbers are good and they're MVP level and their team is really good. Lamar Jackson's going to win MVP. It's going to piss me off. I'm expecting it, but it's still going to piss me off because I'm so high on Russell Wilson. But Lamar Jackson going to win MVP because media hypes him up.
Yes.
They don't show him only throwing like 12 passes a game for 160 yards. All they show is a few times he makes those long runs and jukes out a couple slow defensive linemen. That's it. That's all they show. They repeat it over and over on social media, gets in everyone's head that he's a god for some reason. And Lamar Jackson's gonna win MVP, even though he does not deserve it. And you said you put him above McCaffrey. I wanted to say I strongly disagree with that. I don't think he's the MVP. But he's gonna win it. It's gonna
Going
be
back to Lamar Jackson has 299 attempts. Russell Wilson has 352. The yards, Lamar Jackson has 2,400. Russell Wilson has 3,000. I mean, you see how much they pass the ball more than the fucking Ravens. Lamar Jackson is a running back that can throw halfway decent. I mean, he's doing good this year, don't get me wrong, but he's not Russell Wilson.
He's got a weakness. You make him pass a lot in a game. If you can somehow stop him from, scrambling every other play like he does, make him throw the football, that's a weakness. You're winning. There is no weakness for Russell Wilson. You can't make him do anything. He might have a bad game because he's fucking off in his head or, I don't know, he's sick or something, but you can't beat him. You can beat the Seahawks by putting up 50 fucking points probably, but you cannot beat Russell Wilson. He does not have any weaknesses. That's the key. No weaknesses for the MVP.
The Patriots cheating asses can go and cut the fucking cord to his helmet so he can't hear plays. And guess what? In the preseason, he called all the offensive plays in the first quarter, and they scored, I think, on 3 fucking drives straight. So
sure,
preseason, but still, he calls the offensive plays, and they still fucking score. It's pretty fucking sad.
He's a genius.